Hi everyone, Janey here with Sadie and Shay. We have a girls' day today. Very fun. Jason is unfortunately at work. It's the weekend. Sometimes he has to work weekends. We are headed to Napa today. First to stop off at the garden center, right? Van Winden's. Eileen was showing me some really amazing peonies that she has there, and so I wanted to stop by and pick them up. We are in line for Starbucks right now and I have to order, so hold on one second.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What can I get started for you?
Can I please get a grande iced coffee with no sweetener? 2 iced lemon loaves, please.
2 iced lemon loaves. Okay.
And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mommy.
So of course we have to stop by Starbucks first on our way.
Yeah.
You can't have a girls' day without some type of coffee, right?
Yeah.
What did you get?
I got a strawberry frappuccino.
And
I got a pink drink.
a pink drink. Very good. And I just got an iced coffee. So like I said, we are headed to Napa to see Eileen, ask her some questions about growing peonies in hot climates. And then after that, we'll probably, I don't know, go to lunch,
Yeah.
go shopping,
Somewhere, and then
do some fun things.
yeah.
We'll figure it out. It's going to be a fun day. All right. Oh, nice. Why are you showing me this? Do you like it? Do you like the baby dinosaur hatching from the egg? What do you think about the hedgehog?
I like it.
It's cute, huh? Aww. Oh, it's cute. Oh, and here's a cat. Huh?
Oh, cute bunnies.
There, right there. Look.
Oh,
How cute.
look at Mr. Jeffrey.
Aw.
This is my favorite.
Jeffrey. Okay, the girls are having fun looking at all the cute stuff in the gift shop. I'm gonna go find Eileen and the peonies. Look at all these peonies. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, they're huge. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, everybody. Eileen, let me remind you of Eileen at Van Winden's. She knows absolutely everything about all all plants. Okay, so about a week ago, you posted on Instagram. I swear, every time you post on Instagram, I'm like, I'm coming. So you posted all these beautiful, beautiful photos of the peonies you all have here. And when people come here, they don't quite look like the pictures, right?
Yeah, people imagine peonies to be those bouquets you buy at Trader Joe's.
Right.
And this is actually what peonies look like this time of the year.
Yeah, yeah. They look beautiful.
Well, I think, to a trained eye, I do remember when I first saw a peony, someone sent me, it was back when I was, at the beginning of my learning about plant journey, someone sent me a picture and said, can you tell me what's growing in my garden? I just moved into this house.
Yeah.
And it looked to me like these creepy little hands
Yeah.
reaching out of the ground. And I was
Yeah.
like, what is that alien plant?
Right.
But actually, it's going to be the most gorgeous flower in your garden probably in a couple months.
You, of course, know all things about all things.
What
No,
would you
I
like to
embarrassed
know?
you when I said that. So tell me about the different kinds of peonies, because I know there's
Yeah.
like herbaceous and, well, I know herbaceous and Edo.
Okay.
Those are the two that I know.
So yeah, herbaceous are what most people think of as like the classic peony. They're those big ball heads usually. It's what grows so well in the middle part of the country. Herbaceous peonies don't grow very well in Napa.
Okay.
In order to grow them at all, you have to kind of know exactly what you're doing or get really lucky. And then Itos are a cross between the herbaceous peonies and then what's called a tree peony.
Okay.
Tree peonies grow great in Napa.
Oh, okay.
They don't need a lot of chill to make flowers.
Okay.
I guess when I say herbaceous flower or peonies don't do well in Napa, it's because they might grow, but they're not going to give you flowers. And with peonies, like you're growing them for the flowers.
You want the flowers. So
Yeah.
why don't they give you flowers? Is that because we don't get cold enough here?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's the
okay.
cold. Just like with a lot of fruit trees. Remember we talked about chill hours.
Yeah.
Peonies don't officially have chill hours that I'm aware of, but they do need the cold to put on flower buds.
Okay. Have you ever heard about anybody putting ice on their peonies?
Yes, isn't that so silly?
No, because I've done it.
Okay.
But yes.
Yeah.
And so
No.
that's when someone that lives in our area wants flowers on a herbaceous peony, they put ice on it.
Yeah, so maybe you've heard that if you put something in a pot, it's going to be more extreme for it. It's going to get extra hot in the summer, extra cool in the winter. So that can help. And then if you dump ice on top of that, you're kind of even upping your cold. But yes, my mom lives next to a very talented floral designer, and she does that to all her peonies. When I
Does
first
she?
found that out, I was like, well, that seems like a bit much.
Yeah.
But if you're going to get these amazing blooms because of that,
I know.
like that's pretty easy to do.
I mean, you know, once a week, you just throw some ice cubes on. It's
If you have an ice maker in your fridge, it's so easy.
yeah. So you live in a warm environment. You want peonies, but you don't want to bother with putting ice on. So then I would go with a tree peony, you said?
Tree peonies would be easiest. Let me show you an example here. Tree peonies are called tree peonies, I believe, because they grow kind of like trees.
Okay.
They don't die to the ground like herbaceous peonies do.
Okay.
They have usually...
So this is the old growth, and is this new growth?
Exactly, yeah,
Okay.
that came out this spring.
Okay.
They sometimes have usually the biggest flowers of any peonies.
Really?
Yep. They can
Oh.
be incredibly show-stopping in your garden.
Oh, I am not familiar with tree peonies at all.
Yeah,
Isn't that funny?
honestly, when you Google them, you don't find as much information as opposed to herbaceous peonies.
Right,
They're
right.
just not as well known. But in Napa, if you want an easy peony to grow, this is totally the way to go.
Okay.
There's not as much diversity of them for them, so you're going to buy a red or a white or a
Oh.
yellow.
Okay.
It's hard to source more than that.
Okay. So those, what do you call it? Plant breeders. We need more tree peonies, plant breeders.
Yeah, but I mean, this is tricky. This took us 2 years to grow these.
What? Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
Yeah, these aren't easy to grow. We babied these at our ranch. They got a really special soil mix. They got a special spot where they're going to get a lot of attention at our ranch. We put a lot of energy into getting these. But
Oh my goodness.
the thing is peonies cost a lot of money because they grow so slowly.
Right.
It's totally an investment for a lot of gardeners, and the payoff can be amazing because they live hundreds of years. They give you amazing flowers, but you know it's kind of high risk because if you don't have the perfect spot for them in Napa, they might die.
Right. You
This is a safer bet. So
So how much would something like that be? Just roundabout.
this is about $80.
$80 because you guys have put so much time and energy and effort into it.
Mm-hmm.
I totally get it. What about these guys down here? These big guys.
So these are 5 gallons. They're almost all Itos, which are a hybrid between herbaceous and tree. And they, in theory, have the characteristics of both in the best way.
Okay.
So they don't need the chill to put on the flowers.
Okay.
But they're going to have usually a nice full flower, kind of like the herbaceous is known for.
That makes a lot of sense because I've seen people grow peonies like a piece of cake, right? And
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there like, how did you do that? And it must be an Ito or a
It could
tree
be that. I
peony.
mean, are you talking about in your area?
Yes,
Ah, okay.
exactly. So,
Well, you can do herbaceous because you do get colder than Napa.
oh, okay.
Napa has a bit of the coastal influence.
Okay.
More than you guys have, but I would just really make sure you plant yours in the shade.
Oh, Full
You
shade?
can grow peonies in full shade in Napa if
Oh.
you put them on a mound
okay.
and you mulch the right way,
Okay.
and
Are you
you
going to tell
fertilize.
us the right way?
Yeah,
Okay. Tree peonies are the easiest.
in Napa for sure.
Okay. And then Ito peonies are
Easier than herbaceous.
okay, and then herbaceous are the hardest.
Herbaceous though are the fan favorites because look at what you're gonna get. Like you get this incredible cabbagey flower that's so full.
Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness.
And you see these are in smaller containers. They're going to be at a much lower price point because you're getting a smaller root ball.
Okay.
They grow so slowly.
Okay.
That's why the price jumps so much from can size to can size.
So will this one bloom first year, you think? You
This
plant it?
one will definitely bloom first year. You're going to expect, I would think, 3 to 5 blooms
Oh, okay.
on a 2-gallon, which is what
Okay.
this is called. The 5 gallons are going to give you 10 plus blooms.
Oh, okay.
So if you're in a rush to get your bouquet,
Yeah.
make that first investment.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, say you go with like you can go to Costco and you can get peony. What do you call them? Tubers.
Yeah.
But those aren't going to bloom for the first year.
So that's the thing, yeah. If for some reason you're on a budget, you love peonies, you can get a bare root peony.
Okay.
This is what it looks like. You can kind of see through the bag, but you can see the new growth is popping up there.
Oh, yeah.
But you can kind of see, and this is a blend. This is 3 peonies all in this. So you can see that right there is 1 peony.
Okay.
Compare that, if you can kind of peek in this can, look at how many roots and tubers you got going on in there.
Here, yeah.
And you can see so many growth points, some that are
Yeah.
already really coming out and some that are still just little baby buds. Here you have 2 growth points.
Right. So this probably won't bloom.
This definitely will not bloom the first year.
Oh, okay.
You will get flowers, I would think, in 5 to 7 years.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding?
So if you're rich in time, poor in money, great option.
So, okay, so this will be what, like $10 or something
Right
like
around
that?
there, yeah.
Right around there. But then you look at something like this and this is more like over $100.
Over $100.
But worth it because then you get that many blooms first year.
I mean, yeah, it depends on your priorities, but definitely worth it to some people.
Yeah, absolutely. Say I wanted to plant an herbaceous peony. What would I do?
Oh gosh, okay. So where you live, you get really hot summers.
Yes.
So it's going to be basically the same advice for Napa. We get basically the same heat in the summertime. You're going to definitely want to have good drainage, which I think you have better drainage in your garden than most people have in Napa.
Okay.
You got maybe a little bit more sand.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So you don't have to do this maybe as much, but we always recommend people put herbaceous peonies on a mound.
Okay.
That's going to help with the drainage.
Okay, interesting.
You're also going to want to put them in maybe with some starter fertilizer because they love phosphorus.
Oh, all right.
Phosphorus is known for making flowers. It's part of your NPK you see on all your fertilizers. It's that middle number. Phosphorus is known for making flowers, which is great. But as we've talked about in past videos, it's really all about the roots. Phosphorus also makes great roots.
Okay.
Peonies, if you have a big, like if you were say shopping for a peony, right, which one should I get? If you could potentially see how full the can is, like if you see a can that's kind of oblong, like the roots are pushing out inside,
yeah?
that might be a tip off that you got big roots.
Okay.
Even if it doesn't have, like see how this one here has fewer sprouts than this one?
Yeah.
Say, but also you can see this one is oblong. This is the winner, obviously. It's got
Right.
more growth and an oblong can.
Right.
This one just doesn't have as big of a root ball, I would guess.
Okay.
We can't bare root these and take a peek at the roots, but you can make an educated guess here.
Okay, you can
So
kind
this
of
one
feel
is
around.
a better investment for sure.
Okay. So planting on a mound is
Plant
one
on a
thing.
mound.
Planting in shade.
I would think full shade where you are.
Okay.
If it could be bright shade, that'd be fantastic, or maybe just a couple hours of morning light.
Okay.
But they can go in full shade,
Okay.
which
Interesting.
that brings up another point.
Yeah.
Check out these tags. Full partial sun. In Napa, we have the hot sun.
Yeah, it's
Where
just,
you are, you have the really hot sun.
it's just not quite the same.
So sometimes we actually, like last year I came through and I crossed out the word full.
You
Because
did.
you want either partial or full shade.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
If people do what this tag says,
Yeah.
they're going to fry their peony and then be so sad.
Okay.
Because it's such a big investment.
Right, right. Okay, so that's really, really interesting. And then if you are going to put it in a little bit of sun, morning
sun for sure.
Morning sun pretty much only, right?
I mean, if you could do the last 2 hours of sun of the day, that could also be
Yeah.
a possibility, but you don't want that midday sun for sure.
Okay. All right. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking of where I'm going to plant my peony, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely getting one. Okay, so on a mound, a lot more shade in our area. And then if you live in a hot area, you can do some herbaceous, right? But probably,
Ito and tree are going to be a little bit easier for you.
yeah, I'm kind of
But then think about the cold too, because the cold is going to make the flower buds happen.
Okay, yeah. And if you want to go above and beyond, you can put ice on it, but
Yes.
I was just talking to somebody on Instagram that lives in zone 10,
Ah.
and they were saying same thing. Edo peonies and the tree peonies are probably the way to go. And then you don't have to put ice on it, which is perfect. Can you tell me what your favorite one of these is?
Oh gosh, you always ask this question.
I know.
Honestly, the one we're just looking at the tag, this one right here, Many Happy Returns.
Oh, that's a cute name.
I just love the little frizzle sizzle in the middle.
Yeah.
That deep color.
Pretty,
That's so
pretty.
fun.
Did you, my Nuccio Camellia Champagne Elegans bloomed?
Yeah?
Oh my gosh, it's the most beautiful flower I've ever
so
seen in
glad
my
you
entire
like
life.
it.
It's so gorgeous, Eileen. I cannot believe it. Like, I want like 5 more of those plants. And I've had so many people email me and say, where did you get that one? You know? So, and that was your recommendation. That was your top choice. So I totally get you. Well, this is awesome. Thank you so much. I am going to be buying 1, maybe 2. I know. I'm going all in. I'm going all in. So I'm going to decide which one I get. And then I will be planting it. Thanks, Eileen.
Very good. Thanks for coming by.
It looks like it's working, right? All right, everyone. It is actually the next day from when we were at Van Winden's in Napa. The girls and I had a wonderful girls' day. We went out to lunch, we took them out for ice cream, and we went to the mall. I haven't been at the mall in so long. Sadie is obsessed with the mall these days, which, you know what? When I was young, I was obsessed with the mall too. So I get it. It's not my favorite place to be these days though. Anyway, so it's the next day. Like I said, you just saw a bunch of footage. The guys were here today. Jason had the day off and they have been working on the pathway and it looks so good. We're not totally done yet because we actually ran out of decomposed granite. So we had to get more delivered. And of course, their decomposed granite has been sitting outside in the rain, so it was a little wet. So I don't know if we're going to be able to finish. Jason's behind me right now, and he's working on it. We'll see. We'll see if we get it finished. What I'm going to do while he's working on that is I'm going to get this peony planted. So Jason started up the plate compactor. Hopefully you all can hear me okay. So he is compacting down the last layer of decomposed granite over in this area, and then that's the extra kind of the wet decomposed granite. So we'll see how far we get. I am going to be working over here in the long border because I am trying to go and plant this peony based off of where Eileen recommended in my area. Now normally a peony needs lots of sun, like if you live in the Midwest or if you live in New England area, but if you live where there's hot sun, like California or maybe Florida or, you know, Arizona. I don't know if you can grow peonies in Arizona, but you want to plant it in a little bit more shade per Eileen's recommendations. So that's why I'm looking over here because this fence right here is a north facing fence. So most of the time, if I plant the peony pretty close to the fence, it's going to be in shade. And then my idea is to plant it just to the left of this lemon cypress right here so that as the sun goes down, there's still going to be shade for the hot afternoon sun. So I want to plant it there. Now, if I had no plans and I had no rhyme or reason to this garden, I probably would have planted it over there underneath one of the orange trees. But the problem is, or not the problem, my plan is that this garden bed over here is my best for the west garden bed. They're all going to be plants that do well in my area, in dry, hot, arid environments, and I want it to be kind of inspiration to those of you who live in the same area that I do and region that I do, and I want you to be able to look at this and say, oh yeah, I can plant that plant because Janey planted it in her Best for the West garden. Now, I know you can plant peonies in California, but they do take a little bit of time and a little bit of extra energy. So I don't think a peony belongs in my Best for the West garden, and that is why I am planting it over here. So I'm gonna set up right there, and I think I'm gonna aim for right about there. my goodness, I think I completely forgot to talk about the peony that I got. I just completely skipped past that part. I decided to get one peony, and again, look at this oblong shape of this can. It's exactly what Eileen was talking about. You can tell that there's so many roots going on in here in this can. So the one that I chose, it's a herbaceous peony, and it's called Duchesse de Nemours. I hope I'm saying that right. It is, again, look, it says full sun right there. And I'm so very happy that Eileen went over that for those of us who live in really hot environments, because now I feel so much better about not following that and not putting it in full sun. Again, if you live in a cooler area, full sun all the way, but not for us. This gets about 3 feet tall and 2 feet wide. I started digging my hole, but I only dug it about halfway because I am going to mound it just like Eileen suggested, just for good drainage and all that kind of stuff. Then I'll take all this mulch and I'll put all this mulch around it, water it in, and then fertilize it like she recommended. All right, back to planting. So Jason's going to be working on that. I'm going to go inside and make dinner for the girls. Thank you to Eileen for all your great information on peonies. I'm so excited to get my Duchess planted in the ground, and I cannot wait to see the blooms this year. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.